Yeah. Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever live Q&A. Welcome for all of you joining us from down under Australia, from the UK, and also from South Africa. In the last few days, we've got a lot of questions during email. But if from some reason you didn't ask your question, you're more than welcome to do it now. Just post it as a comment on our latest post on Facebook. We're broadcasting live to you from our offices in Jerusalem, and hopefully you'll get your answers that you were looking for. We'll start with a short introduction. My name is Amir. I'm the director of Israel Highway. I've been involved with Israel Experience for almost 5 years. I've started my career here as a leader for long-term Australian gap year program. And I continue also as a leader for British groups. Actually, I lived in Australia for a while. I worked at the Israeli Embassy in Canberra, so I'm really familiar with the Australian community. And when I got back to Israel, I had the privilege to be involved in developing Israel Highway and now running it.
Hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Michal, and I work here at Israel Experience. I'm directing the Commonwealth Countries Department. I've been working in Israel Experience since the year 2000, so I'm bringing with me 15 years of experience working with groups coming from the United Kingdom, South Africa, and Australia. We have many customers working with us, big customers like USY, NIFTY, British Youth Movement, the UJIA. So we're really familiar with working in all of those countries. I started my way as a group leader in the year 2000, kept on being a group coordinator, then moved along, was in charge of madrichim, group leaders, and now I'm heading the department. I'm also going to be in charge of Israel Highway. Israel Highway is going to be under my department, and I'm very excited about it. So this is me. I live in Jerusalem with my family, with my husband, my boy, and that's it in general. Before we proceed to your questions, I would like to say maybe a few words about Israel Experience. So Israel Experience, we exist since the year of 1958. We bring with us a lot of experience in groups in serving clients from all over the globe. We're in charge of, again, short-term programs like Birthright that you might be familiar with. We have a lot of Masa programs, long-term programs running here from 5 to 10 months. As we speak now, we have thousands of participants from the Northern Hemisphere, mainly from the United States and the UK, traveling all over the country, who are under our responsibility, under my department. And that's all. We are, again, working with Jewish people from all over the globe, offering the highest standards of service, safety, and security. So let's move on to your question. So we got a question from someone from Melbourne, and he's asking, Amor, that this is the first year the program is running. How can I be sure it's going to be that great as you describe it? And what other programs does Israel Experience run? So yeah, as you said, Israel Highway, it is a new program which we designed together here at Israel Experience. As I said before, we are running many long-term programs here at Israel Experience. Some of them which you might heard of, Career Israel and Israel Teaching Fellows, are probably the most successful ones. We also run Magen David Adom, MADA, and Marva are also two programs that we run here at Israel Experience. We had a very big team of people, crew that worked on designing Israel Highway, logistical people, Jewish informal educators, people that work here in the company for a long time and has the experience of running these kind of programs. Also, our CEO, Mr. Amos Hermon, was involved in this program and designing it. We invested a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of budget in order for this program to be the best. And yeah, we definitely think, and we're definitely sure this program is actually going to be run. We have a lot of interest. We'll talk about it in a minute. And yeah, we're very certain that this is going to be happening.
Yeah, definitely. All right, a question from Sydney. What does the average day looks like? Meaning, what will we be doing daily, all day, and what is the daily schedule for Tel Aviv? That is a really, really good question. It's really different day by day. The first part of the program you will be in Jerusalem, which will be involve educational touring outside, seeing all the sites, also studying Hebrew in Ulpan, and also educational activities indoors and outdoors. It really depends. That's the first leg of the program.
We also want to just if you don't mind me interrupting. We also want to make sure that you are going to be sure, guys, that you're not finishing high school and going again to another high school.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything is going to be very dynamic, very much self-learning, engaging. Learning through sites, through touring, through doing something alongside with the knowledge that you're going to get. So it's not going to be, again, going to studies straight from high school. It's going to be totally different, engaging, and interesting.
Definitely, that's a really good comment. It's not going to look nothing like high school, that's for sure. That is the first part. The second part is the part in Tel Aviv. Which you will wake up in the morning and go to your volunteering places for the better half of the day in various volunteering. We'll talk about it in a sec. And also, you will be managing your own houses, meaning cooking for yourselves, cleaning for yourselves. Maybe your parents will be happy you finally do it.
Learning to be independent.
Yeah, it's definitely
part of the skills you're going to get here on Israel Highway.
Definitely, and also the Tel Aviv part involves also educational touring in Tel Aviv and its surroundings. The first leg of the program is really different because everyone chooses his or her own way. The people who will choose to do shvil, to hike, they will hike most of the day and will camp at night, meaning they'll cook for themselves and build their own bonfire and their camping sites.
And they'll meet some interesting people along the way, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. And also, the people who will do the UIA youth villages will work most of the day with the staff from the youth villages during working hours. Also, the people who will choose to do kibbutz will also work during kibbutz working hours, which can be a bit early. All the farming and agriculture on kibbutz is going up very early in the morning, and the people who will choose to do the winged part will actually have more dynamic schedule. They will be studying about physical activities, about the body, about nutrition, but also actually do physical exercise, and that is it. So it's important to remember that one day is not similar to another. And it's very dynamic. If you didn't like one day, tomorrow it's a new day that you might like. Another one from Sydney. Are 50 people not too small for a group? And will I see a lot of friends from other programs? Well, that's a very important question, and it's very simple to answer. We believe that based on our experience that we've gained here, we believe that 50 participants is a great number. Also educational-wise and also logistic-wise, it means that we won't have to split the groups. The group when we're going from one place to another, it's one bus, and also the participants will share their experience together and won't be split into mini groups. Regarding friends from other programs, during the first leg of the program, you will be based in Kiryat Moriah, which is where our offices are, and also where the Shnalis are doing Machon, which means that they will be around all the time, and also you'll have opportunities down the road to meet them as well.
But not just Australians, of course.
Not just Australians.
Of course, South Africans, UK people from South America. The country is full of them.
Where our offices are in Kiryat Moriah, it's also the offices for Machon, and where Machon is running. So we have here people from Europe, from Latin America, North America, and also Aussies.
Okay, cool. We'll go to the next question, but maybe before we go on to the next question, just to remind you that we're live here from Jerusalem, from the Israel Experience offices, if you joined us late. So I'm Michal, and this is Amir. We're the team at Israel Experience who are in charge of Israel Highway. I'm directing the Department of Commonwealth Countries. Amir is in charge and the director of Israel Highway. and we're both here answering all your questions. If you have a question that you want us to answer live now, please post it on our Facebook, and we will answer it as soon as possible. Another question that came into us was, what are the volunteering options? Is there an organization? If there is an organization I already know in Tel Aviv, can I volunteer there? And if I don't want to do any volunteering, can we do something else? So first of all, there is a large variety of volunteering in Tel Aviv, in general around the country. But if we're talking specifically about Tel Aviv and the leg where the group is going to be in Tel Aviv, there are many kinds of volunteerings, from volunteering with refugees from Africa, helping disabled kids, teaching English in primary schools. It's really a great variety of options. If you know a specific organization that you want to volunteer at, you should send us the information. We can contact them and try to arrange volunteering there for you for the period of time you're in Tel Aviv. It's also very important for us to say that if we will try to understand from you what you like to do in your free time, what are your hobbies, so we can amend the volunteering especially for you. And if by any chance you're starting volunteering and you're not really enjoying it, we are here, the staff is here to change your volunteering and to present you with different options so you can do another thing. We want the volunteering for you to be meaningful, and we want you to get something out of it. We want you to wake up every day and to go to the volunteering happy and enjoy it. So this is with regards to the volunteering. Oh, another thing is that the volunteering is compulsory. It's part of the program. We think it's essential as part of the 3 legs. It builds up your participation in the program and you as a person. And we designed the program so something will happen here to you guys along the way. And we think it's important and essential. So again, we will try and make it especially for you, and we will make sure you're happy with your volunteering. You will just need to speak to us if you're not. So another question coming from Australia, from Sydney. What kind of accommodation will we stay on? And what kind of an apartment will it be in Tel Aviv? Okay, so we have here different kinds of accommodations which the groups are going to stay in. It starts like in youth hostels, hotels. In Tel Aviv specifically, you're going to stay in apartments that we are actually looking together with our real estate agents. Everything that we take for the group, that the group is going to be at, is being examined by us. Everything is being checked with our logistical people, that all insurances are in place, that it's not just a random apartment that you can just go on and live in. The locations of the apartments in Tel Aviv are going to be amazing. It's going to be central, either in Rothschild Street, King George, Dizengoff, so it's going to be in the heart of the city, so we will be able to experience the city as much as possible. And yeah, and all around the countries, again, we're checking everything. Everything is being approved by our logistical team. It's mainly a lot of places that we used before. It's not, it's not something new to us. Again, Career Israel, Israel Teaching Fellows, groups of ours with hundreds of participants are staying in those kinds of accommodations. So this is something that we're really familiar with.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's continue with a question from Sydney. How much learning there is actually on a program, and what type of learning is, and do I have to do everything on a program? So the learning experience can change throughout the program, as I said before. As Michal mentioned, most of the learning is being done by experiences and not actually sitting in a classroom and studying like high school. You will be going out on tourism around Israel, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, up north, down south. And you will be learning. We call it learning, but it's actually experiencing the places. Meaning, when you go to the Kotel, yes, we can stand in front of the Kotel and start explaining what the stones are made of, but that's not why we're here. We're here to let you experience Israel. So this is one part of learning. Also, during the first leg of the program, you'll have roughly 10 weekly hours of Ulpan, which I know some of you are very excited for. If everything on the program is compulsory, we believe, as Michal said, that it's really important for your participation. that the activities will be compulsory, excluding the heritage trip to Berlin and Poland, which we will talk about shortly. But if any reason you can't do or don't want to do anything, we're open for a dialogue. Please approach one of the staff members, and we'll see how we can solve the problem. All right, a question from London. Hi guys, it's 9 a.m. there, so Boker Tov. What level of Judaism is provided and enforced on the program? That is a really good question. This program is, we believe in pluralism, which means that we believe that everyone should be respected, their beliefs. The program is, all the food on the program is kosher, and all of the activities are on Shabbat, are Shabbat friendly, which means that we don't write, we don't drive, we don't play music, videos, and such. In public, we keep Shabbat, and if someone want to go speak with his home or play the guitar, he's welcome to do it, but in private. The key words are to respect each other. We will be celebrating Shabbat, doing Kiddush. On Motzei Shabbat, we'll do Havdalah, and also celebrate the Chagim together. And also during part of the experience learning will be also some Torah learning, some traditional learning, but it's very, very pluralistic. It's aimed for any level of Judaism you might have.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I want to add, with your permission, Amir, I want to add a little thing about the educational, like what will I learn or what will we do here. It's also an option. Take it into consideration that you will need to learn something about a site and tell your friends about it. So we might give you some time to learn about a certain site. We'll go up north. You studied, let's say, about Tel Chai, and you will stand up in front of the group and say a few things about Tel Chai, tell the story maybe. So it's going to be, again, interactive, a lot of like engaging, learning. We're also going to make sure that you have a lot of options that you can choose from different speakers. You choose to go to things that you're more interested, and so in the learning section in the first month, again, I'm repeating that maybe, but it's going to be interactive. It's going to be self-learning. It's like we're going to make it very, very engaging, and I said it before, not like high school. Okay, so we have another question actually coming from Melbourne. How many people have signed up to the program, and when will we know if the program is definitely happening? Okay, so that's a good question. We're receiving a lot of interest from people from South Africa, Australia, and the UK. We have about 30 people who have signed up and started the process. Well, not signed up, but started the registration process, turned to Masa to get their Masa grant or scholarship. Some paid the deposit already. We're definitely sure that this program is going to happen. We also heard that some parents have doubts about the program, if it's going to run or not, who's behind the program, who's running the program, who's in charge, who's the responsible adult behind it. Here we are. Okay. So again, Israel Experience is a big company. We have 120 permanent workers coming every day to the offices here in Jerusalem, where we are located right now. Our CEO is definitely involved in this program and backing us up with everything, from budget to everything we need in order to make this a successful program. We want to reassure you that we are the headquarters of the program, and we're backing up everything that we say. As I said before, we invested a lot of time in it. A lot of budget was going towards that. We have 2 people that we hired to work for us in Sydney and Melbourne. And I also paid a visit to the United Kingdom with regards to this program. We're also planning another visit to Australia very soon, so we'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted, and you'll know exactly when we're coming in order to actually meet us, and again reassure you that Israel Experience is a very well-known, very familiar company in the incoming tourism market in Israel, that we have a lot of clients, and yeah, I mean, this is us.
We strongly believe in the quality of the product. We call it a product, but
the program.
The program that we've created, based on not just our experience. We said it before, over 30 people, and we really sure that it's going to be a great program.
Definitely. So we have another question coming from Melbourne. Okay, good afternoon, Melbourne. That's great. Have the madrichim been picked yet? Okay, so let me say a few words about madrichim. We choose our madrichim. We have a very strict screening process that the madrichim are going through. It's a very long process. We have a screening day, and then they go through an interview. For these kind of programs, for the 5 and 10 months program of ours, we tend to choose madrichim with experience, those who worked with us before on short-term or other long-term programs. The madrichim will be in the age range of 23 to 25. They will be way after the army. We want them to have a little bit of life experience. As we speak now, we have dozens of madrichim, again, running programs for us for the thousands of participants that running around the country right now. So again, we will screen them, we will choose them. They will go through a seminar in which we will teach them all about the different Jewish communities they're going to work with. We're going to brief them with all the logistical security, health procedures that we are running here at Israel Experience, so they will be professional enough. We will back them up 24/7, myself, Amir. They will be in constant touch with the office here in Jerusalem, and they will operate the program the best that they can. It's just not just logistically wise, but also educationally wise. We will choose them also to be good educators for the group. We believe they need to have they need to be multitasks, of course. They need to handle the group, if it's behavior issues, to be strict sometimes if there's something going on. Educationally wise, they need to understand Israel. They need to understand the needs of the group, educationally wise and welfare wise. So again, they're going to go through a very big process. We're going to pick them very precise to this very important task of ours, and that's it. We're very familiar with this process. We've been doing that for many years,
and both of us have been through this process as well.
Exactly.
Some years ago and 5 years ago.
Yeah, indeed. We went through the same process, and here we are. Actually, most people here that work at the Israel Experience are people that grew in Israel Experience, started as madrichim, became group coordinators, then been offered to work in the office, and now they're doing different things here in the office. Even some finance people start as madrichim, and then studied accountant or stuff like that, and now they work for Israel Experience permanently. So this is just a little bit about madrichim. The madrichim haven't been chosen yet, but this is the next stage of ours to actually choose the madrichim.
We're waiting for the summer to end here in Israel, for the summer groups to end, and then we'll see if the madrichim are good enough to join on Israel Highway.
Yeah.
Okay. A question from Sydney now. How much extra spending money do I need? That's really hard to answer because it really depends on you. How much big of a spender are you? Basically, the program provides everything you need. 3 meals a day, accommodation, transportation, everything you need. If you want to go and buy extra, then you're more than welcome. Something really important to say, which is really good, that you don't need to find your own accommodation. Our open weekend policy assure you that you'll have accommodation during weekends as well, and I'll explain. Basically, there are a few kinds of Shabbats that the group goes through. One is a group Shabbat, which everyone is staying. There is a program, and obviously accommodation and food provided. And the open Shabbat, it's when there is no program, but the accommodation is still available for you. A madrich will stay with you throughout the whole weekend, and the program will continue on Sunday. You can choose to stay in the accommodation, food provided, and not needed to be paid for extra accommodation. That can save you up to thousands of dollars in those 5 months. It's important to say that during Pesach, during Passover, we have Chofesh, time off, but also the apartments in Tel Aviv will be available for you. So basically, you have accommodation for Pesach, like a week and a half, free for you. Food is not provided, but the accommodation is, which is really, really important to say. Okay, another question. And now we're going to Melbourne. Someone from Melbourne is asking, while other program ask for about $50 deposit, you ask for 1,000. Why is that? That is a really good question we've been getting lately. Other program ask for a registration fee. That is a fee on top of the program cost, and it can go up to $100. Israel Highway does not ask for this fee. We ask for a deposit to secure your spot. Basically, the registration fee, the application fee that other program ask, is not saving you a spot on the program, so it makes this fee meaningless. In order to secure your spot on Israel Highway, you need to pay the deposit, which is 1,000 USD, US dollars, while other programs, some programs ask for 1,500 US dollars for deposit.
You need to be sure you understand the difference between registration fee, which is like $50 to $100, and deposit. So the deposit in other programs is as well 1,000 or even more, 1,500, and registration fee, which is just to start the process of registration. We're not taking any, not $50, not $100, which is usually extra to what the other providers or other programs are taking. So this is something for you to note and understand. But it's a good question. It's a bit of a tricky one to understand between registration and deposit, and we hope we made that clear now. Yeah, let's move on.
We're traveling back to South Africa from Johannesburg. At the beginning someone is asking who picks the room. So at the beginning of the program, the madrichim, the leaders will choose the rooms, and the idea behind it is to assure that all the participants are mixed together. It's a new friendships are being built, and also to make sure that no one get excluded and being left out. If we see during the program, if we and the madrichim will see that it's not an issue, definitely you guys, the participants, can choose the rooms easily.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so first of all, we've been answering most questions that we received so far. Before we conclude this live Q&A, obviously if you have more questions, we are here and we're ready to answer. But I would like to talk with you a little bit about our drugs and alcohol policy. So first of all, drugs obviously is illegal in Israel in general. So if you will be caught using drugs, or if we suspect you're using drugs, this will be we will not tolerate this kind of thing in Israel Highway. First of all, you will sign and agree. You will sign and agree before coming to the program that if needed, you will have to go through blood tests and search, and we will need to search. If we suspect, again, if you're using drugs, we will need to search for drugs and maybe do urine or blood tests for you. Again, we will not tolerate any drugs using at Israel Highway or here at Israel Experience, also in of course, our other programs. This is illegal, and it's just not welcomed, and we don't want that. And this is one thing. With regards to alcohol, alcohol in Israel, you're allowed to drink only after the age of 18. So only when you turn 18, you're allowed to drink legally. Participants who will join our program and will not be 18, they will not be allowed to drink alcohol at all. And we will enforce that. Unfortunately, we will have to do that, but this is something, again, which is illegal under the age of 18. Also, people who will be allowed to drink, we will not be tolerating any getting drunks here in parties or stuff like that. You will be allowed to drink up to a certain point when you understand and know that this is enough.
When it comes to a stage where you endanger yourself or the environment or any property, that's a red line. We will not tolerate it. And
if you're not waking up to the next day because you're drunk, this will be we will not tolerate this kind of behavior. So you need to understand that. Also, if you're using drugs or getting drunk because of alcohol, you will not be insured through our health insurance policy, because you're putting yourself in a position where we can't really, guarantee your safety and security and health situation. So this is something you should note. Drugs, alcohol, we have very strict policies with regards to that, and we tend to, stand behind our words with those two areas. I want to also talk to you about our insurances. You are insured in different kinds of insurances while you're here. The first and main one is the third-party insurance, meaning that every activity that you're doing, all the things that we're doing together in the program are covered by a third-party insurance that goes up to $90 million, which is the highest in the tourism market in Israel. We're backing ourselves up, and all our suppliers are strictly going through very severe checkups in order for us to back you up with a $90 million policy. So that's the first one. That's a third-party insurance. Medical insurance. You are going to be insured with a medical insurance, meaning that if you're ill, if you don't feel very well, you'll be entitled to see doctors, specialists if needed. Some of your pre-existing conditions will also be covered through this policy. The only thing that you need to know is that if you have a pre-existing condition, you will have to come with all your medical supplies to Israel, because you will not be able to, well, you can buy them all in Israel, but it will be very expensive for you. The medical insurance will not cover to buy medicines for your pre-existing condition, so you'll have to come with all your supplies. But if your pre-existing condition is getting worse than here in Israel, you will get the treatment. Some of the pre-existing condition will not get the treatment, but again, if you have a pre-existing condition, you have to communicate it to us, and we will have to tell you exactly what you need to come with from Australia, South Africa, or the UK in order to make sure you're medically okay here, and medically reassure yourself that everything will be covered. We are also going to cover you with a volunteering insurance, meaning work insurance. You're working in different places. Well, you're volunteering, but it's actually a working thing. You're working in a place. So we are also ensuring that if something, God forbid, happens to you while you're volunteering in a certain place, you are medically covered for it, and everything is covered for that as well. So again, 3 kinds of insurances: medical, third-party, and workplace insurances. You will need to come with your own luggage insurance, with your personal, personal belongings. You will need to insure them and make sure that everything is covered. If you are bringing, expensive stuff, you have to make sure it's insured. If it's get lost, stolen, God forbid, or whatever, you need to make sure you're covered. So these are two more things that I wanted to add.
Before we conclude, we got 2 more questions on Facebook. The first one: is it possible to go to a yeshiva in Tel Aviv during independent living instead of volunteering? This is a good question that I've been speaking to a few people that were interested. Yes, it is possible, but in order to do so, we need to arrange a large group of people, roughly 15 participants that will want to go and do the yeshiva and study in yeshiva around Tel Aviv.
There's also an option to go to yeshiva on the third leg, on my way.
Yes.
On the personal highway.
Exactly. If there is, it all depends on the numbers. Not because we don't want to. It's just the yeshivas won't accept fewer people. So if you can get a group of around the 15 participants, yes, it is possible to go to yeshiva. We will do our best to coordinate it. But first of all, let's see that we have the numbers for it. The second question is: will the madrichim be religious? Here at Israel Experience, we do not discriminate madrichim if they are religious or not. So it is possible that they will be religious. It is possible that they will be completely secular. We might
have one in one.
We might have one in one. We don't have any preferences for that. Obviously, if the madrichim are secular, we want them to understand and know the traditions and not be foreigners to the Jewish religious world.
Yeah, they will not be entitled to say, "Oh, I'm secular, I'm not practicing this, so I don't know how to handle this issue."
Exactly.
They will have to understand what's going on and be, and as Amir said, be familiar with everything that is needed. But we tend to do a mixture, so it might be a mixture of madrichim. Again, we need to see numbers, and then we need to know how many madrichim we'll need. The ratio of madrichim will be 1 to 15, I think. Something like that. This is usually our ratio in long-term programs. But again, we will see numbers, and we will make sure the right amount of madrichim are being chosen to the size of the group, of course, and also the mixture of participants in the group. We will see who they are, what their needs are, and we will make sure the madrichim are addressing those needs.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Anything else? Do we have any more questions?
No.
Live? Okay.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us from 3 different countries and continents.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Thank you very much. If you have any question, if you would like to speak with Michal and I on Skype or on phone, please don't hesitate to contact us. Just send us an email to infoway@israelexperience.org. And we'll get back to you. We're offering Skype calls if you want to talk with us. Also, our registration guys in Australia, Mark and Jake, are available for you. Anytime you can get for Victoria, you can contact Jake at infoway.vic@israelexperience.org, and for Mark for New South Wales, you can contact him on infoway.newsouthwalesnsw@israelexperience.org. We have another question.
We have another question. Just a second. It's also all in our website. So you should go to our website. You can Google it, Israel Highway, do it your way, and you will go onto our website. Everything is there. All our contacts. You can again contact us via any way you want to. We will be happy to speak to you privately on the phone or Skype, as Amir said. We have another question that just came in. Is yeshiva an option for the last 42 days for the own highway? So the answer is definitely yes. We will need to coordinate it with you. We'll need to see which yeshiva you're interested to go, and then communicate this to the yeshiva. But that's definitely an option to go to yeshiva on the last option of highway. And also, as I said before about yeshiva, it all depends on the numbers. So we need a group of roughly 15 participants in order to coordinate such a thing. But you can be in touch with us directly, and we will make sure to write it down and see what we can do. Maybe we also have another group of participants from other programs of ours that are going to yeshiva at the same time, so we can, join you together in a larger group of participants doing yeshiva at the same time. So this is definitely an option. That's definitely the benefit of running a program at Israel Experience. We have many groups running around, happening all throughout the year. So you can also be together with other groups of ours, and then we create a bigger group to go to yeshiva or other option. So that's definitely something we can think of, look at, and make it happen.
Yep, definitely.
Fantastic.
That's great. Thank you so much for being with us. If we didn't answer your question or you missed it, don't worry, you can watch it after or on YouTube. We'll post a link, and always contact us on emails.
There's another question?
Oh, another question just came in.
That's live, guys, live. Woohoo! So we have the question being written down by our amazing Linnea. Thank you, Linnea. Wow, that's really great.
A few more seconds.
Yeah. That's really exciting. I feel like a star.
You are. We're just waiting for the question to be written down.
And then okay, if participants need to leave for family reasons during the trip, like a week or so, is that okay? Okay, that's a great question, actually. You are, as a participant of Israel Highway and all Masa programs, you're entitled to get a certain amount of free time of holiday, even if it's a personal holiday, to go on a family event or something like that, if it's here in Israel or abroad. And if you are going to the event, we're taking down those days from your participation in the program, and you are limited to a certain amount of days. Masa is basically are limiting us to a certain number of days per participant, meaning you're receiving a grant or scholarship from Masa, and this is for your participation in the program, meaning you can't just leave for a month, for example, because otherwise you're not participating in the program, and Masa will ask us, okay, so who do we give, like why did we give the grant or the scholarship for this and this person? So you are entitled to get free time. We will need to calculate exactly how much time it is and let you know. So you will have to communicate with us if you have a family event or something that you want to go to while you're in the program. Okay, we have another question. So if you have something that you need to go to, you will have to communicate it with us. We will let you know how many days you're entitled to get. And the answer is yes. You can go to a family event. You can miss probably up to a week from the program to go somewhere, and that will be fine. So again, everything which will be coordinated in advance most likely will happen with no problem. Okay, another question?
Another question.
Would it be possible to be in a religious kibbutz for the last leg of the trip instead of secular one? Yes, we do have kibbutzim which are religious, and we can communicate with them.
We'll have to see if we can coordinate such a thing. If those religious kibbutzim have all the approvals and all the insurances. Now we're stationed to be in kibbutz Barkai, which is not a religious kibbutz, but we will have to look it up and see if the religious kibbutzim have all the approvals, because we don't take chances.
We do work with some religious kibbutzim on other programs. The only thing that you need to take into account is that you probably don't want to be there alone as a lone volunteer from, just to be there on your own. Even if you have like an adopting family or some people around your age, but they're Israelis, it might be difficult to you socially if you're going to volunteer alone in a kibbutz. So it might be that some people from our program would like to volunteer in a religious kibbutz, and that's great. Or to maybe try and put you together with other volunteers of us on a religious kibbutz. We do have religious kibbutzim that we work with. It's just that we will communicate about it, and it's just a matter of how comfortable will you feel maybe being one or two volunteers in this specific kibbutz, because we tend to take all of our volunteers to another kibbutz, which is now chosen to be a secular one. So again, keeping kosher and everything is according to our rules and regulations in the program, but you need to know that this is now a secular one. Again, open to discussion, happy to accommodate all your needs.
And another one.
Wow, we were about to. Wow, I'm very happy. That's great.
Based on interest expressed, how many participants worldwide are you expecting?
Okay, so we had that question before.
Yeah.
We have a lot of participants interested. Mainly from Australia, but we also have a few from the UK and South Africa. About 30 participants, as I mentioned before, started the registration process, meaning either applied for Masa, a grant or scholarship, started the registration process in our website. Some of them have paid already the deposit and got the gift from us. Do you want to remind them the gift?
Yes, definitely. Just in regards to the question, we have participants from Australia, from South Africa, and from the UK expressing interest, and we do hope it's going to be an international program, basically English Commonwealth-speaking countries. Now, regarding the gift, we have a few more voucher left. If you paid a deposit, be one of the 10 first people to pay the deposit. We have a voucher for you for $200 Australian for Kathmandu. Don't worry, Brits and South Africans. We'll give you the equivalent in your currency. So yeah, if you'll be one of the first 10 people to pay the deposit, you'll get $200 Australian to Kathmandu to buy yourself hiking gear and everything you need to Israel. Now, if we don't have any more question.
Oh, there's one more, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There it is.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Will we be able to go on to different synagogues on Friday nights and Saturdays, or will there be a minyan with the group? Well, it really depends where we are, but as we said, one of our main things is pluralism. So we will get you experience a Reform shul, a very Orthodox shul,
A Masorti shul,
conservative shul. So you'll get the full experience. And some Shabbatot, when we'll be slightly remote, there will be a group minyan, which will pray according to the majority. We can also split the groups between all kinds of religious ways, the way you believe it. But the main idea is to get you exposed to as many streams and ideas you can get.
I want to add on top of that when we are in big cities, the option of practicing different Shabbat services is bigger. So when we are in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, there are alternative Shabbat services that are happening in the old station in Jerusalem, on the beach in Tel Aviv. So if we are in a bigger city and we can expose you to different kinds of, Shabbatot that people are here practicing, so definitely we will do that. Those are amazing experiences. We do it also with other groups of ours. This is mainly happening in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Again, if we're further away, we will either have a group minyan or go to the nearest synagogue if some of you would like that to happen. But we will definitely try to expose you to as many, pluralistical ways of practicing Shabbat, enjoying Shabbat. That's for definite.
That's
anything else? Okay, line is quiet for now,
Yes.
so I guess we will finish with that. Again, we're inviting you to write us emails, ask us for a personal Skype with myself and Amir. All your questions will be answered. We're very open to all of your questions. The program is a set program, but we're also open to alternative ideas that you have. We want you to enjoy Israel Highway your way. So we will try and make it happen. This is the motto of the program, to try and make it as engageable for you as you want your Israel experience to be. So yeah, I guess
thank you very much.
This is it. Thank you very much. Live from Jerusalem. Have a good morning in the UK, a good afternoon in South Africa, and a good night in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, all over Australia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.